Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I am going to give you 7 tips or really questions to ask yourself to help you figure out the right goal planner for you. Let's rewind a little bit to about 2 years ago when I posted a video comparing the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets to the Moxie Life Goal Planner. And at the time, those were really the 2 biggest goal planners that I felt like I wanted to recommend to my community. Based on what I knew at the time in terms of goal planner options, what I knew about goals, and just where everything was at. And I still stand behind absolutely everything I say in that video. But a lot has changed in 2 years. A lot has changed for both of those companies between what they offer. Now, the actual background of their goal setting system has not changed, but the product lines that they now offer have expanded immensely since I filmed that video. And there are a lot of other goal planners out there that work well for a lot of people. So I originally considered just revamping that video, Power Sheets versus Moxie Life, and talking all about the new updates that those companies have made. But again, there are so many goal planners available now, a lot of which I am actually planning to review over the next 2 months as we prepare for the new year. So if you're interested in seeing reviews of other goal planners, click that subscribe button. I have a lot of videos coming. I think I ordered 6 goal planners yesterday. So I wanted to create a video that was generic enough to help you figure out between whether it's Power Sheets, Moxie Life, or any other goal planner, is it a good fit for you? Now, before we jump into that, I do want to answer the question, do I need a goal planner to achieve my goals? No, the answer is no. You do not need one of these specialized goal planners to achieve your goals. Do I think it will help you achieve your goals? Absolutely. And more importantly, I believe you should 100% be writing down your goals, writing them down somewhere. I have said before, even if all you have is a notebook or a notepad to write down your goals, I think that that would be beneficial. In fact, somebody recently requested a video on that. If you feel like you would benefit from a video on how to just use a notebook to set goals, let me know down in the comments. But I know that it can be really beneficial to have a goal planner that is specifically dedicated to your personal goals. So let's jump into the 7 tips, 7 questions. And a lot of my examples are going to be based on Power Sheets and Moxie Life because those are the goal planners that I have experience with. But again, you can apply these questions to any goal planner that you're considering. Question number 1, do you want your goal planner and your everyday planner to be one and the same? This is a very important question to start with because this can really lead you one direction or the other. What I mean by this is, do you want the planner that you write down all of your plans and all of the things that you check in with on an almost everyday basis to be synced up, to be one product with your goal planner? Because if the answer to that is yes, I just want one planner that does it all, the Power Sheets are unlikely going to be the tool for you. The only calendar piece that the yearly Power Sheets have is a monthly layout. And for most of us, our lives are so hectic, that's not enough. You need more than just a monthly calendar. So if you want your planner and your goal planner linked up into one, the yearly traditional Power Sheets might not be it for you. Now, Cultivate What Matters did launch a 90-day Power Sheets option that does have a weekly planner incorporated. And we'll talk in a little bit about like a quarterly versus a full year planner, but Power Sheets does have an option that has a planner involved. However, if it is important to you that you have a planner incorporated with your goals, Moxie Life is going to be your best bet for this option. That is what their company is founded on, is that your planner and your goals are one and the same. So if that is important to you, Moxie Life is probably going to be the best place for you to start. However, a lot of other goal planners I've seen do also have this feature where they have some sort of planner layout intertwined with the goal setting pieces of the planner. So it's just a matter of, does that layout work for you? And the binding and all the other things that go into picking a planner. Highly recommend watching Cindy's video about picking a planner specifically, not a goal planner, if that's something that you're struggling with. Subcategory, this is not its own question. It kind of falls into this first question, but it's something to think about, and that is portability important to you? Are you going to want to be carrying this tool around outside of your home? If it is all one planner with your everyday planner, the answer might be yes, I want to carry this planner around. I want to take it places. And so you will have to keep that in consideration when you're picking a goal planner, that your planner is portable. For me, portability is not important in a goal planner because I keep my goal planner and my everyday planner separate, and my goal planner, my Power Sheets, just sit on my desk all the time. So I don't care how big or how bulky or inconvenient they are to transport. All right, question 2 is another very important question. How much reflection do you want to do before you take action? Are you somebody who wants to take more time at the beginning and do a lot of questions, reflection, thinking, almost soul searching, depending on what you're going through, to help you figure out your goals at the beginning? Or are you someone who wants to start taking action pretty quickly and then do more reflection along the way? Personally, I am not good at reflecting along the way. In fact, there are pages of my power sheets that go unused because reflecting along the way is not, I'm not good at it, okay? So I like reflecting at the beginning. I like spending a lot of time in December reflecting and thinking about my life and my goals and having all of that piled up at the beginning. If you're like me, the power sheets or something like that where a lot of prep work goes into the beginning is going to be a better fit for you. I'm also currently testing out the HB90 goal setting system created by Sarah from Heart Breathings. That is, I'm using it really just for business goals. That also has a lot of reflection at the beginning, a lot of work and questions that go into figuring out what you want your goals to be before you actually jump into action. So if you want the reflection at the beginning, a system like that might be better for you. So knowing if you benefit from reflection at the beginning might help you pick one of those systems. On the other side, if you're someone who's like, no, I want to jump right into action, I need to get started, and then I will reflect and ask myself those questions as I go through the goal journey and actually working on my goals, then something like the Moxie Life might be a better fit for you, where you have very little prep work at the beginning to figure out your goals, but there's a lot more reflection and questions to ask yourself like on a weekly basis in the Moxie Life goal setting system. So something to keep in mind. Do you want to reflect and then act, or act and then reflect? And then look at the system. Does it have a lot of questions up front, or is the reflection and the questions more dispersed throughout the planner? Question number 3 is, do you want preset categories for your goals? A lot of goal planners have these categories or areas of life that they encourage you to set goals within. And if that is something that's really helpful for you, right, having a jumping off point of ideas, categories, areas of life to come up with your goals, that might be really helpful. And then the sub question to that is, if the answer is yes, I do want categories, then do these categories fit within my life, right? Are these categories something that I actually can apply to my life and my goals? And so you might want categories, but the categories on that particular goal planner might not work for you. So then are you willing to change them? And if it is a goal planner where maybe you're only doing something monthly, maybe you are willing to change the categories once a month. If it's something that you're doing weekly, like the Moxie Life, and those categories don't work, do you want to change it every week? That's a question you have to ask yourself. And if everything else, it's a big puzzle, right? If everything else, all these other questions point you to one thing, and then there's one thing that's wrong, because let's be honest, most of us are all different. We're all different humans. We all have different lives and different goals. There is unlikely to be one perfect goal planner for any one of us. Like, there are going to be things that we want to change about every planner. So it's about finding the planner that's the best fit for you. So do you want those categories, and do those categories fit within your life? Something like the power sheets, they don't have categories. They just have 8 goals. You can have anywhere from 1 to 8, and you get to pick what those goals are. And then I found a lot of other goal setting systems have like, here are the categories. It can vary anywhere from like 4 to 10, and the actual categories vary a lot between planners. Question number 4 is, how often do you want to refresh your goals? How often do you want to be checking in with the action steps that you're taking towards your goals? This is something that differs a lot between goal planners. So obviously, like a high level, we're all checking in with our goals on a yearly basis, setting them up for the new year. The next tier down from that would be quarterly. Most goal planners have some sort of quarterly check-in. Some are actually only 1 quarter, which we'll get to, but most have some amount of quarterly check-in, but some more than others, like the amount of refreshing you're doing at the quarter. Most have some kind of monthly. That's the other kind of like for sure cadence you're probably going to do, is a monthly check-in. But how much are you checking in? Do you like the amount of time that you're checking in with your goals? And then some planners have a weekly check-in, like the Moxie Life and other goal planners that I've seen have a weekly check-in. For some people, if your weeks change a lot, or you want that flexibility to change things if something's working or not working on a weekly basis, that might be the perfect fit for you. For me, a weekly refresh is almost too much. It's too much flexibility. I'm way more likely to give up on things. Whereas when I commit to something for a month, I at least give it a go for a month. There are pros and cons to both scenarios here. I think it's just really what works best for you. The other question that I get kind of related to this topic is, well, how much time is it going to take for me to check in with my goals? And what I have found in all these different systems is the time commitment is about the same. I mean, you can for each individual system, you can kind of compare how many pages, but it's really, are you spending that time more on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or a quarterly basis, or some combination of it? But it kind of all ends up being the same. It's, do you want to spend that time, right? So for me, I don't want to spend that time every week refreshing my action steps. I'd rather spend more time on a monthly basis, again, even if it's cumulatively the same amount of time, but I'd rather spend that time once a month refreshing my goals for the next month. You saw this one coming. Question 5 is, how long do you want your planner to be for? There's really 2 options here. There's a 90-day option and a year-long option. Most of the goal planners that I have seen fall into one of those 2 categories. There is one exception. Moxie Life does offer a 6-month option for one of their layouts. Not all of them, but one of their layouts is undated 6-month. Otherwise, most goal planners are going to be a 90-day or a full year. The question is, what do you want? Do you want a planner that you are going to commit to for an entire year? Or do you have a big life change coming up and you want a 90-day planner that then you can pivot to do something else when you go back to school, or when you expand your family, or you get married, right? If you have a big life event coming up, you might want to lean more towards a quarterly or a 90-day goal planner. I think both options are great. Again, it's really just figuring out which one is going to work better for you. Cultivate What Matters does have the full year dated version. They also have the 90-day undated version. Moxie Life has, again, one of each. They have a full year dated, the 6-month undated, and then a quarterly. I can't remember right now if those are dated or undated. They've got all of it. And then every other company is going to be different. Some are going to be more or less. Some are going to be like undated quarterly, but it's a printable, right? So then you can keep printing it out. You could use it for the entire year. We'll talk about budget in a little bit, but really the question is, how long do you want your planner to last for? All right, question number 6 is community important to you? Is it important that you're able to surround yourself with other people working on their goals with the same goal planner that you're using? I know for a fact that both Moxie Life and Power Sheets have fantastic communities of lots and lots of people that are using the same goal setting system. They both have communities on Facebook. They have free Facebook groups that you can join that come with lots of tips and questions and support. They both also have people active on Instagram and on YouTube that are sharing how they're using their goal setting tools that you can follow and really get to see somebody else use that tool in action. They both also have a paid option where you can upgrade to be part of a smaller community with some more focused attention and support and kind of that smaller community feel. So if a community like that is important to you, knowing that and seeing if it exists for the goal planner that you're leaning towards. Again, I know that Power Sheets and Moxie Life has them. That's why I'm saying that. For all the other ones that I haven't reviewed yet, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find a community of people that are using that same goal setting tool. So if the answer to that is yes for you, like that is important to you, and it might not be, that there's no right or wrong here in any question in this video, then just knowing that before you pick a tool. And then the last question number 7, what is your budget? What is your budget for a goal setting planner, whether it's incorporated in your everyday planner or not? What is going to fit in your budget? Because after all these questions, maybe you answered all of them. Maybe the 90-day Power Sheets weekly, it's bound, maybe that's the perfect option for you. But that 90-day product times 4 is pricey. For a whole year, it's pricey. And so maybe you're like, that one sounds perfect, but that's not within my budget. Then what is the next best planner option that still fits some of those questions, maybe not all of them, that does fit within your budget? And maybe this should have been question number 1, that you answer what your budget is before you start going through, but I think it's helpful to know what are all of the different options that you have out there and what is important to you. Because I would, again, like to tell you that you're gonna be able to find the perfect goal planner for you that answers all of the questions that we talked about and fits within your budget. But truthfully, that's probably not gonna happen. It doesn't happen for most of us. So the goal here is for you to find the one that is the best fit for you for right now. Because that's the last thing I wanna talk about, is it's only for 1 year and it's okay to change your mind. If there is a goal setting system that you have been using for years and years, and maybe it has worked for you and you have been able to change your life and achieve your goals, but your life is changing, your needs are changing, you've learned different things, maybe you want to switch to a different goal setting system. If you guys follow Cindy, who I already mentioned once in this video, for years she used the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets and those worked for her. She has promised us a video on kind of why she switched and why it's working for her, but this year she switched to the Moxie Life Planner and is absolutely crushing it. So I want you to know that it's okay to change your mind. And it's only for 1 year or even for 90 days if that's the kind of planner you're picking, right? So while it may feel like, okay, I'm investing a lot of money, investing a lot of time, my goals are important, it is a blip in time. the most important thing is that you pick one and you get started and you use it. The best tool at the end of the day is the one that you're gonna use. So if there is one that you just think is absolutely beautiful and you will leave it out on your desk 24/7, therefore you're probably gonna see it and probably gonna use it, that's the one for you. I didn't really even talk about aesthetics in this video because while I do think that's important and I obviously care a lot, for me the insides are so much more important than the aesthetics. But that is a category I could have talked about. So I know I left you with a lot of things to think about. So as we go into the next couple of months where both myself and I'm sure other YouTubers will be reviewing lots of new goal planners, I want you to keep these answers in mind on what's important to you. And there might have been a question here also that you were like, that I don't care. Like that's not important to me. Great, cross it off. That question doesn't matter. There might have been a question that you got to put a big star next to because you're like, that is 100% important to me, and my planner needs to answer that question in the right way, right? There might be questions that are important to you and not to others, and so on. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you end up going with a planner that doesn't have a community, or you want a community of people that are using all kinds of different goal planners, come join us in the Patreon community. That is my personal goal-focused community where we have people using each and every different type of goal planner. So all of the support and calls and things that I do is geared towards any type of goal planner, and you can find that community and support regardless of which one you're using. If you did find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Take 3. No. 2 minutes, I'm finally gonna start talking. Talking about those two systems. Now, the Power Sheets, Cultivate Matters, Power Sheets come, blah, blah, blah. If it is one in, like the same, it's all one, blah, blah, blah. New York is so loud.